Hey guys, you ready to clean up the town? Whoa, wacky! Oh my God, we're gonna show everybody our respect and our awesome army of crime lord enforcers. Whoa!
I don't know what I was watching. I thought I clicked on the wrong one. I was like, this is not Star Wars. What is this?
Fucking hate these scooters. I never want to see these scooters again in my life.
I want to apologize to everyone publicly because I was like, how does Boba Fett going to be a crime lord without like an army and a bunch of people to help him out? And I was wrong. And I want everyone to know that I'm very sorry because the assholes he recruited that were like
are the worst.
Spy Kid, Powerpuff Girl assholes.
Spy Kid. I was looking for a good.
Robert Rodriguez did Spy Kids.
Yeah. But guys, I think Robert Rodriguez did not direct this.
He did. He did.
He did. Okay,
yeah.
I was going to look that up
at the very end. Yeah. Robert Rodriguez.
Okay, makes sense. God damn it! You know what? It's like Robert Rodriguez is supposed to be one of us. Supposed to, especially we're from Austin, and it's like. I don't like his recent work, and I never thought I'd say that because I didn't think that he could mess anything up like that. So let's talk about this episode. What did you guys think of episode 3?
Hated it.
The good aspect for me is like I like the plot. I was like, okay, this is cool. There's some intrigue in there. But other than that,
the plot of episode 3.
Yeah, I thought it was like pretty good.
The streets of Mos Espa.
Mm-hmm.
Vespa.
Mos Vespa.
Mos Vespa.
But I hated these augmented cyberpunk punks.
Yes.
I hated
for sure
their bikes.
Yep.
It just felt like this was just put in for, I don't know why.
Yeah.
It clashed super hard with Star Wars.
Even in the concept art at the end, it clashes. It looks a little better, actually, in the concept art, but it definitely clashes. These young cyberpunks.
Yeah, it derailed it for
me. Cyberpunk 2077. And I mean, the broken one at release has somehow injected itself into my Boba.
I did not
Book
like
of
this.
Boba.
I didn't like them at all. I didn't care about any of these characters.
Oh, no. Alex?
I agree that I like the individual plot points. I like the idea that he's
it's not all bad.
Doing things. I like the writing. And what comes down to it is I despise the directing here because I do think that the plot points make sense.
Yeah.
He gets attacked at night. We know an assassination attempt's coming. That's cool. He's recruiting people to help him out. He's trying to become the crime boss, but in kind of a respectful way. I like all of these individual things. I just think that it was so... I don't even want to say awfully because like he knows more about directing than I do. I just fucking hated the direction of this episode. And if someone's out there who's like, oh, he knows more. It's like, sure, he knows more. But I fucking hated it. It doesn't fit. I don't like the colors. Don't like the characters. The fight scenes were awful. How do you fuck up the fight scenes between a badass Wookiee assassin?
I know, right?
and Boba Fett.
And an old grumpy man? Yeah, that's easy to fuck that up.
It's like, man, how?
To me, it turns into a Home Alone parody or something, and not even like a good Home Alone, like a Home Alone 5.
The recent one.
Like a fucking Home Alone 5, right? Yeah, it's like so campy. And okay, so here's what's going to happen. Well, the defenders right away are going to say, well, there has been camp before. Do you remember in Star Wars, the prequels, there was the diner scene? Yeah, it fucking sucked then. It was out of place. It was stupid, and I hated it. And it was bad then. It was stupid then. And when you put it in here, it clashes even more so because Mos Espa here's what's supposed to Mos Vespa. Here's what's supposed to happen, and I think the disconnect is this: is some of us expected a harder edge with a Boba Fett series.
Any edge?
Well, yeah, because he's trying to
sharp, hard edge. He's underworld. He is the best mercenary bounty hunter that you could fucking hire. Even Darth Vader hires him. And honestly, that's not this Boba.
No.
This isn't that Boba. There's no elements of that Boba left. Basically, it's almost like a completely different character. Honestly,
it is a shell of what Boba Fett was. Because like when I saw
Boba Fett was nothing.
He was very intimidating and stuff.
Boba Fett was nothing, and because our imaginations ran wild with Boba, because he's 6 minutes of screen time, 4 lines. Okay?
But we did watch him in The Mandalorian absolutely murder motherfuckers. Remember he had that amazing fight scene where he's destroying things, and then we get this. So they've set a precedent that Boba Fett can be a badass, that he knows how to fight, and then we got this garbage.
Yeah.
Because they needed screen time for the new people.
And so, and the boys are right. It's not all bad. Okay, we're just saying there are certain elements of this episode that sunk low. Lowest of the low of Star Wars. It's like, I hate it. I don't want that to be a part of the canon, and things in the canon, it is now canon. And so, but there are good elements of it. So let's go over the episode right now.
Opening scene. He's
let's go ahead and give it a rating.
Okay.
We can go ahead and give it a rating and then jump into. Well, I mean, at this point, if you're watching our reviews,
We've always done spoilers in the
Yeah, this is gonna be spoiler
Okay,
alert
so
right
let's
there.
just save it for the end. So the thing that we have the problem with is the young cyberpunks. They feel forced. They feel put in. They're led by this chick who is wearing a Spy Kids outfit. And her fucking
arm.
bike is goddamn ridiculous with 15 different rear view mirrors coming out of each stock. It's awful. And she has a knife, and that's her thing. And it's like, no. All of these actors were really shitty performances. It may have just been because they were so out of place that everything they said rang it did. Wrong.
It took me out. I'm like, I hate them.
A costume parody of Star Wars, and then you put it in Star Wars where it didn't belong. It's like you plucked it right out of the Phantom Menace in the most colorful and wacky children's part of that film, and you plopped it right into the middle of our underseedy underworld. It just doesn't work. I'm sorry. And why do we have the cyberpunks? Well, we have a water dispute here on Mos Vespa, and this guy, Boba Fett is totally entwined now in the politics, trying to get things to run. So the stapler dude from Office Space.
I was gonna say that.
He looking good, right? I'm like, damn, man.
bad.
That's like he's lost weight and he's a little older now, but he looks good.
I wanted them to be like, they took my water and they also took my stapler.
And they took my stapler. Joe, no.
Oh,
Well, how this
that
episode
doesn't
going.
fit. That doesn't fit, but that does.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. So he asks for help there. Turns out, and so Boba goes to help, and it turns out that dude is overcharging them for water by a goddamn lot, and they're like, there's no fucking work here, and he's like, you work for me. Now, how about that?
No, but first they're
like,
trying to be all cool though. So, get out of here, old man.
Yeah, they put their hands
He's
behind
like,
their back. It's like,
cool.
shut the fuck, man. I wish he would have immediately just killed them right away, and then we wouldn't have had to deal with them. Like this.
I agree.
Well, the setup for them was really cool because the guy, when he's pleading with Boba, he's like, "Look, there's a street gang. They're really dangerous. They're modifying their bodies." And then I'm like, "Oh, cool.
Whoa.
This could be really cool." And
In my mind, yeah.
And then you see them, you're like, "What the fuck was this?"
What happened? The costume designer, I blame. They're in the credits later on. I also blame Robert Rodriguez for that. It's bad. Anyways. So he swept up in the political stuff, and we've got Nick Toe Sand Riders as well now. And this is another huge disappointment for me. It's supposed to be character development for Boba, but his Tusken Raiders...
Has
Muerto. They were killed off screen.
So they're not dead.
And when he left to... collect tribute for the Tusken Raiders, and the Pike Gang is like, well, we're paying two different people. We're not going to be paying these Sand Riders, and we're not going to be paying, the Tusken Raiders. Sort this out. And he's like, I'll sort it out. And and that's going to lead into a bigger plot line that motherfucking Pike is behind it. It's the Sand Raiders not fucking no, it's the Pike. And we need a big syndicate for Boba to go against. Unfortunately, this is disappointing in two ways. It's disappointing that we got all of his Tusken family was killed off screen. We didn't get to see it. Now, there's a small chance, like I was looking for the badass that taught him how to fight. I was looking for various, the little kid that he saved. I couldn't find them.
He was burning their weapons, though, and I think with that pile, I think he was
So there's a small chance that maybe they're prisoners without their weapons. But another part that didn't make sense, I thought he was burning his own weapons. I was like, what? Why are you getting rid of that part of your life? No, that's a part of your life. But maybe it was just their weapons. Again, a little disappointing and a little confusing there. there, but hopefully some of them are still alive. Did you notice that? It looked like he was burning his own weapons because I thought he took it from his own back, but
No,
it
I
might have
didn't
just
see
been
that.
something off screen that he's lifting up and putting in there. So yeah, and then the second part of the disappointing thing, another part of the second part of the episode is I was looking forward to Boba Fett going up against the Hutts. It makes sense. Boba's history very closely tied to the Hutts, closely tied to the being hired by Vader and all these other things. And so him going up against the Hutts sounds right. We're not getting that. Okay, and I knew that was going to be very difficult because you touch a Hutt and forget it. The entire Hutts are coming down on you. So I was like, there's going to be some gymnastics they're going to do in order to get out of that. We were right. The gymnastics came in this episode. We'll get to there in a minute. But first, he is, Alex, he is healing in his back to tank. And what happens?
Wookiee grabs him.
Yeah.
He's whooping his ass.
So
No, there's
literally
no
the-
ass whooping at all because he's like, I'm going to pick you up and I'm here to kill you.
Right.
So, but first I'm going to throw you across the room.
Literally
and then I'm
the
gonna wait-
worst assassin of all time
it's
shows
just
up.
fucking terrible.
Now,
Like,
again, this could have been fixed by direction and writing, right? Because you could have had the Wookiee make a show of it, like, let's go.
murder all the biker gang.
You and me, you were staring me down.
Rip some arms
Yeah.
off.
That would have been
Pulls
great.
their arms off. I'm like, all right, I'm back in.
I'm back in. I'd have
I'm
been
back, yeah.
fucking 10 out of 10,
Yeah,
boy.
that would have been better. There's no blood. You just see
Sure.
like sparks, which is Disney
Sparks,
approved.
boom.
Remember, there
Boom,
he's the
Joe,
robot
I like
arms.
it.
Like he's,
I like it.
There's ways that you could have done it, and they did none of them. Instead,
Yep.
we got a sad fight with a wet
Yeah,
Wookiee,
very
and
wet.
like it just
That sounds gross.
Nothing about
It
this
is.
fight seemed
Smelly.
like I don't know.
Yeah.
he had every opportunity to kill him like a dozen or so times, and
Uh-huh.
I get it's a Disney show, but I don't give a shit. It's
Right.
still bad.
It is, the choreographed poorly because the Cyberpunk show up and all of them fire their weapons in close range to the melee god of the universe, a Wookiee. And one guy with a purple laser, he's literally shooting him fucking,
does
a foot away. I do believe that a Wookiee could take a few shots, but why is he not further away shooting? He has to get right in the Wookiee's face so the Wookiee can be like, "What?" You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this is the scene again. Here we go. This is, whoa, whoa, whoa.
It's very colorful.
Yeah,
that's what
and
it
Spy
was.
Kids again. God damn
What
it.
makes it particularly sad is if they had cool cybernetic enhancements, maybe it
Yes.
would have been cool. But all of their little doodads are sad. They are sad little.
Pointless.
Yeah, I mean they're absolutely
They're pointless. They're little costume pieces that they got from the
He
prop
said purple
department.
lasers, and mine's a knife. It's like, why don't you just have a knife? It's like, no, because
So-
it's attached.
So the chick leader comes in and hey, she's the one that stabs Santin, and but doesn't really phase him. They continue fighting, and they get pushed into the council chamber, in which the guards show up. Because I'm like, where the fuck are the guards? The guards.
That's what I said. How did
God
he
damn
get
it.
in?
What are the guards' name? God, I always forget their
He
fucking.
knows, whatever.
He knows, but he's gonna forget.
Bill and Ted, Rocksteady
Bill
and
and
Bebop,
Ted.
No. God damn it.
the Gamorreans.
Bill and Ted, Gamorreans. Yes, you got it. The Gamorreans show up and they get into the fight, and then fucking Kirstan bites one of them and shit and throws him. And then the dumbass makes the mistake of standing over the goddamn thing. Everybody always makes that goddamn mistake. I would never stand anywhere near the center of the room. Fennec comes in and she presses the button. He falls in and they got him trapped. So that's how we resolved that little thing. Because I'm like, they're not going to kill him. And unfortunately, he should have killed a few of Boba's. Not a single fucking death. You're telling me Santin is one of the best Wookiee fighters, and he can't even fucking hurt anybody.
If I was Boba, I would have killed one of them myself. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
I gave you work to protect me.
Okay,
This
that's a
motherfucker
little
came
too
in.
far.
No, I'm gonna rule
this
with
Boba
respect.
is not going to do.
Respect me.
That's fear, Joe. That's fear. You're not getting
I'm
it. He's
tiptoeing.
not trying to
He's
rule
not, I'm
through
a tiptoe
fear.
through-
Anyways,
Alright.
Well, no, he
this
does-
is not. This is clearly not the Boba that Joe wants.
No.
This is a nice Boba because he lets one of the Gamorreans go into the back to tank, which is like, oh,
Right.
yeah, that's kind of cool.
I liked
You're gonna have
that.
to hose off, like completely flush
Oh,
that
yeah.
out of
Yes.
there. That's gonna be gross.
Oh god.
But, I
and
mean-
then they have a feast afterwards. A two-person feast. The cyberpunks are not allowed to eat. We were just talking about how there's no work, there's no food, there's no water, and he doesn't. And they show up to fucking help him, And and then he lets Gamoran go in his bacta tank, but then he doesn't let them join in on the food. Because why? Because it's written poorly, and it's a scene in order for Boba to be like, I'm not engaging in what being the Fett leader that I should, kind of. And she's like, you need to enjoy the spoils and this and that. He's like, no, I need to figure out who is attacking me and all this other stuff. He wants to do business, and she's like, you got to act like a crime lord. Anyways.
Again, that scene, like, he could have been like, all right, no, I don't want this. Y'all could have it or whatever.
Right.
For a cyberpunk gang or whatever.
Yeah.
Something.
And his Gamorans could come in there and clean that shit up in an instant.
Yeah.
Anyways, somebody shows up and say, hey, you got some visitors. The Hutts are outside. And I'm like, I was like, oh, that would have been cool to see the Hutts go back inside and in this situation. But no, they're standing outside. And they give a gift of a Rancor. And the gift of Rancor. And Danny Trejo. And tribute. I was like, is that Danny? That's Danny. I'm like, all right, Robert Rodriguez. Makes sense. That's the good side of Robert Rodriguez. And the tribute of the Wookiee. Because they're like, hey, we sent the Wookiee to kill you. We're sorry. He's like, what the fuck are you doing here? That kind of
doesn't make sense, though, because they're like, oh, we're sorry we killed him, but if the Wookiee would have been like, he'd do his
that
job,
makes total sense for the Hutts. So like, I'm gonna make an attempt on your life because fuck you. You're talking shit up to me. It didn't work out. I'm gonna go over.
But I
don't want this place anymore.
They're over there with the gift.
Yeah.
They didn't know if the Wookiee killed him or not.
Right. Well, but
Wookiee didn't come back, so
I'm pretty sure they knew the Wookiee failed.
But was
because
was
that's
that
why they
supposed
brought
to be like
the
a
gift.
day? Or I thought he was there for like a couple hours.
Joe, they have this.
hours,
Think about it. They have it planned out. They are going to take over. That's their Rancor. They're going to clean out Boba. They're going to, but it didn't work out, and so they have this extra. What the fuck are they going to do with it? Just take it. We're going to take off, and it was disappointing. I agree, it was disappointing because it's like I want him to fight those fucking Hutts and goddamn lizards. I want him to fucking put the neck and just fucking choke his sister and him in one. Not gonna get it. Not gonna get it. Maybe not here. Maybe in the future. Nah, I don't know. Anyways,
well,
they say
what's the punishment for killing a Hutt? Leia got to live forever and being fine for killing a Hutt.
Yeah, I guess that's a little plot hole in the thing. But in the lore, it's like you don't fucking do that. You have to get permission in the underworld. I guess Leia's not an underworld boss, so it's like she doesn't fucking count. And the Hutts don't want to start a war with the rebellion.
There was like 400 people in the Republic at the end when they had 3 ships, and the Hutts weren't going to be like, man, fuck you.
You're just not supposed to.
I'm not supposed to think about how bad that the sequels were. All right, I'll try not to.
So the Hutts tell them, hey, look, we were both lied to. This fucking rock is not worth it. We have other prospects. We're going to take off. I'm like, God damn it.
This is war.
But they tell him, hey, look, it's the mayor. We're both lied to, but the mayor, and the mayor is working for the Pikes.
So this doesn't make any sense within the lore of Star Wars whatsoever. The mayor has zero power to promise the entire planet to a different syndicate that's owned by one syndicate. And so
I guess it's more the mayor is a vassal of the Pikes is what I interpreted it as.
Yeah, but the Pikes don't steal territory from the Hutts, and that's what they're doing.
Well, it was an attempt to legitimize the Pikes operation that they are being protected by the mayor kind of thing, and then they have, I guess, Bob Fortuna was a lackey. I don't know. But anyways, then we get the Rancor scene, and again, this was another scene that could have been incredibly badass, but it turns out very awkward. More so than it should have been for me. It's about whether it was Danny Trejo, and it was difficult for me to envision him in Star Wars and his acting, and then but also a Boba Fett actor. It just didn't ring right. He's trying to show kindness to the animal, and it just felt awkward. The Rancor is going to imprint on Boba. And the first thing that the Rancor sees, then he has an emotional attachment to. So boom, they do that scene, and now Boba has a Rancor pet, and he really wants to ride it.
But he said the Rancor is depressed right now, so we'll see.
Okay, that was you're right. That's foreshadowing. Maybe something will happen in the future.
It's very sad. That's what's wrong with it.
I don't know. I thought they were just saying that's why it's docile right now because everybody's like, why isn't the Rancor going crazy? And they did all this over explanation. They're actually peaceful creatures. I'm like, I don't buy that shit. They are great fighters. Okay, I buy that. but imprints on Boba, and Boba really wants to ride him, and it's like, okay, well, why? Why do you want to ride it so
it's
bad?
cool.
It's because it's cool, and yeah, we're gonna eventually the series is gonna have Boba ride a Rancor. But when I heard about that, I'm like, I don't want it. I don't care. That's not a thing that you're making me excited with. He's got a fucking jetpack.
They're also not blaster proof or anything. It's just like, I got a Rancor. It's like the same problem with all the new Jurassic Park movies. We're going to use them as weapons. Like, motherfucker, we got tanks.
You're
like
riding
legit
him into
actual
battle.
tanks. He's
Don't
going to
do
die.
that. Don't ride the Rancor. All right, okay? Respect your animals. Anyways, and then we have one of the most embarrassing speeder chase sequences in Star Wars.
They were slowers. They were very slow because they were going like 15 miles an hour. No one was speeding at all.
Right. The prop rig that is keeping these things floating and hovering was moving very slowly, and you just saw laid bare production and pantomiming and mimicking Star Wars and
Some
mimicking
people in the background doing this.
Phantom Menace.
It's like, what are you doing?
And it's like, stop it. You
Did
know,
you ever want to
it
see some
didn't
Vespas
work.
go off some ramps?
Oh, sick ramps.
That was
Who's like, oh, there's a ramp.
when the cool ass chick,
Yeah,
women,
the turn.
woo-hoo.
I was like, get the
And
fuck out of
then,
here.
And then the jump, whirl.
And then the guy had a little had a little torch that he was trying
Just
to like heat up
crash.
the outside of it, and just like just shoot it. Think you guys don't have blasters?
Just fucking crash and die. I hate the speeders and the riders on them. They
But
stick out like a
unfortunately,
sore thumb.
they're
in
his gang now.
Star Wars, and they're his gang, and you done fucked it up.
Yeah.
You done fucked it up,
Yeah.
Robert Rodriguez.
I don't want to see them.
I don't want to see them. I don't want to see these Home Alone 5, fucking Vespa bandits anymore. Yeah. And there's proof that his rocket pack works because at the
Yes.
after she does her stupid sick fucking
It looked
drift,
terrible.
which looked terrible, and she's like, "Oh, I'm so awesome, female power." There's a powerful female. It's like there's been chicks.
was like,
we don't
no.
need you. So get out of here.
But
And
already has a badass bodyguard. She's fucking kick-ass.
she's
We
fucking
don't-
Yeah, we
kick-ass,
already have
and
one.
you are shitty. Please leave.
Yes.
She was Mulan. You are not. Get the fuck out of here.
And then here comes Boba Fett and his rocket pack. So I'm like, his rocket does work. He could have just the first time they were attacked in episode 1. flew
Again,
up,
Joe,
like I
you
said.
wouldn't get
like
that
I
speed,
fucking said.
but you wouldn't get that slow chase scene.
Yeah, and guess who directed the first episode? Robert Rodriguez. And so it matches up. Like his incompetence here is surprising me because I love him. He's an Austinite, and has had done great work in the past. And I know he has great work in him still. But is this the Spy Kids part of Robert Rodriguez spilling into here, and then the carefree attitude? And yes, it's campy. Yes, it is slapstick. But honestly, that is not the best part of Star Wars.
No.
And even though it's been a part of Star Wars, that doesn't make it good. It doesn't make it canon. It doesn't make it necessary. When fucking in the sequel Disney, when Hux got slammed in the floor and he's being dragged across, and fucking Poe is like your mama, all these things. It doesn't work, right? It only works within a certain context. Like if you have a character that is like that, right? That is purposefully like that. Han Solo, smarmy, he's clever, and he cracks the jokes, and he's like, yeah, every once in a while, but it works with him. And which, by the way, I just realized, Boba should be fucking interested in Han Solo. I mean, the only person to really fucking defeat him, he should have some mention of Han Solo somewhere in this series, because Han Solo
forgot.
knocked him into the fucking Sarlacc pit. You would think that he would check up on Han, like what's going on with Han. Maybe I'll get some revenge.
Maybe
and then
later on.
there's a story arc where he's
know.
like, man, I guess I don't need revenge on Han. Something like that to build him as a character, to put closure on what happened in the past. But no, they're more interested in wiping the slate clean, taking this Boba character, getting rid of all of his traits and features that we liked, wiping the slate clean, and giving us a new Boba who is 100% pure hero. I like a hard-edged Boba. I like sharp knife, anti-hero Boba. You know what I mean? So, anyways, and then the mayor's working with the Pikes. That's a reveal right there. because the Twi'lek dude. I like the Twi'lek dude. He's a coward and a piece of shit. And they show up and they show a little bit of hard edge. It's like, I'm gonna fucking shoot you if you don't give me a goddamn appointment. Because it's like, well,
she's badass.
That's how you should do it. And it's not Boba doing it. It's Fennec doing it. And Boba's like, is that necessary? I'm like, shut the fuck up, Boba. Just shut up.
Thank you.
God damn it.
Who are you?
Who the fuck are you? You need to toughen up. Grow some balls.
No, they fell off.
Okay.
They were dissolved in the Sarlacc pit.
Fuck. Anyways, and then they go out, and then they're like, I can't get the door. And he's like, oh, well, you can't get the door. Oh, well. And then Fennec again, I'll take care of this. God damn it, Boba, do something. Anyways, and they fucking have a chase sequence at the Twi'lek, and then he slams into the fucking manure, and the manure comes down in it. It's not manure, but you know it's manure, okay?
'Cause it was a shit scene.
Might as well been
It's a
manure.
shit scene.
It was a fucking shit scene, unfortunately. Unfortunately. And then they also have an awful joke at the end of the series.
Yes, I was gonna tell you about
Go
that
ahead.
joke. It was fucking terrible because the spy, he's like, he sees Pikes come down. He goes make a phone call. He's like, "Yep, it's the Pikes. They're coming in." And it's like, there's probably a dozen of them. He's like, "All right, keep your eyes peeled." Oh, wait, sorry, because he's got one augment.
Yeah, keep an eye on him. Oh wait, never mind. That's a joke. That's insensitive. I'm sorry. Don't call HR on me.
Awful.
Thanks.
Why are you worried about that,
What?
Boba?
Yeah.
It's just awful. I don't understand it. It's really bad. It's not funny, and it's
It's not.
awkward, and it's almost character assassination on Boba to apologize to a cyberpunk that he just hired. It doesn't make any sense. I guess ruling with respect. Wait,
No.
You mean ruling with fucking what do you call it? Just political correctness and ruling the underworld with political correctness.
PC babies.
And peace.
PC babies
And
from
PC
South Park.
Just shut the fuck up, Boba. Anyways, a rare misstep that I hope isn't repeated. A rare misstep that I hope isn't repeated.
I hope so.
They're all alive.
And then they do the song, which, by the way, the theme song, I like it more and more and more every time I hear it. I really like the theme song. And then we see the concept art. Everything looks way better. The fight between him and Kerr Stanton, all of it looks better. But even in the concept art, you see that the fucking, the bikes are, multicolored and it just out of place. It's, whoa, wacky. It's wacky, guys. It's fucking Phantom Menace.
Everything in the street is filthy
Slapstick.
and covered in dust. And the people
Except-
wearing torn clothes, and they've got candy, apple, red, cherry, Vespa.
No, I don't want it.
Woo, you want this in your Star Wars?
They look like those
Woo.
carnival rides.
Yeah.
Woo. Anyways, let's go to final verdicts.
I'm between a 3 and a 4.
Okay.
well,
You're gonna get a lot of pushback, and then it's not that bad.
No, I'm probably gonna go.
It's
with
not.
The,
It is not that bad. Well,
well,
I
that's
am.
why- well, I'm gonna give it a 4 because I
Okay.
do like the story.
I agree. It's not
the
that bad.
story is good. The plot, I love the way that's going. I was like, that's pretty cool. We'll see where the Pikes and where the conflict continues with that. And
Yeah.
the Hutts are trying to do the assassination. That makes sense.
Yeah, well, there were good scenes.
Yeah, but the bikers ruined it. It just drew me out of the whole Star Wars galaxy thing. I was like,
Yeah.
no, this is clashing with what I like.
And then you see a
and
production.
They're doing so much with them. I was like, if this is your gang, you're going to continue this? I don't want to see them. I don't. These fucking guys are terrible. So there's that, and there's a chase scene I didn't like. A lot of them were them. And then the main thing with me is with Boba Fett. I don't know who he is anymore. Because when I thought of Boba Fett, I was like, oh, this guy's fucking badass. He's a bounty hunter. And now he's just like, he's just so soft.
He's a PC baby.
Yeah, he's so soft. He's apologizing. I don't know who he is.
Right.
So
it's
that's
not my Boba.
It makes me kind of sad. It makes
I don't
me
want
sad.
to say that, but hopefully it'll turn around.
I'm
We'll see.
hoping so, because I get you want to rule with respect.
We don't need a character like that. I mean, it doesn't
But
need to be Boba.
at the
Why
same
is that
time, you
Boba?
can't be a-
because it's 2022? I don't know.
Like, I get it, but like, don't be a pushover. He just
Right.
seems like a pushover this entire
Well,
time.
that's
He's
what
not
I'm
doing
hoping for.
anything.
I'm hoping for eventually he's going to be like, God damn it! Fuck it! That's what I'm
I
hoping
want that,
for.
but it's not gonna
If that's
happen.
going to
It's
happen,
not.
I'm going to be happy.
Because at this point, I want Fennec to be the leader.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm like,
Me too.
what?
Fennec deserves to be the leader more than
It's
he
like,
does.
this is
is
not
that the
Boba
point
Fett.
that they're trying to make? I don't know.
I don't know, but at this point, I'm like, he's not who I
No.
want as Boba Fett.
No, he's just a dude. I mean, he's great and he's a good fighter and stuff, but no,
I'm at a 4.
not special. Fennec, please.
Yeah, I was. It's not a 2.
That hurt.
But it's a low 3 for me. This is thoroughly unacceptable. I think the direction here was miserable. The fight choreography is just laughable. You have these horrible situations. You have these horrible side characters. You have a horrible chase sequence. And so, it on its own, the episode itself is bad. And you touched on something that's really important that from my perspective is this is a character I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch any more episodes of a soft Boba Fett that yells at his subordinates for flashing a gun. He yelled at.
Was that really
Was that
necessary?
necessary?
Which is what he needed. What needed to happen.
The issue is we don't have the fight choreography that we've seen Boba have in The Mandalorian. I'm not going to make up fan fiction. I know I've read some of the expanded universe of. Throw all that stuff out. We've seen in this established universe in a Disney series, Boba Fett be a badass motherfucker that deserves respect.
Yes.
And all I see here is a soft person who deserves to get assassinated by anyone on the street. Not only does he act stupid and he should get assassinated on the street, but he's not a crime lord. He should be working at a soup kitchen. I don't want to watch any more of these episodes with these side characters in it. And it's just like I don't. He's soft.
He's such a heart bleeding heart.
I don't give a shit about this character anymore. Now. I don't care about the Pikes. Now that they're like, no, don't worry about the Hutts.
Right.
You're gonna worry about the Pikes. Like I don't give a shit about them. So I don't give a shit about.
So when you factor that in, because I didn't want to give it a 3, because I said, you know what, it's not that bad. But when you think about it, that character assassination of Boba, and this whole thing is called the Book of Boba Fett, and you're making me not like Boba.
Yeah. If the book is How to Neuter a Mandalorian, they did a really good job. That's. I mean, he just feels pacified
I
and
think
just
that
like
it was one too many episodes directed by Robert Rodriguez. Robert Rodriguez directed an additional episode. It was this episode. He let him direct an additional episode. He likes him a little bit too much control given to Robert Rodriguez, and he took it in a direction that I don't think any of us really like.
And I can't. In my opinion, he doesn't get to recover from this.
I think he's capable of it. If I can find his phone number and talk to him, he's an Austinite and he's a boy. You know, he's our boy.
I mean, the series, like
Get rid of them.
yeah,
Get rid of the
but
bike
we
gang.
just need to
in the few episodes
San
we have.
Antonio.
See, like I honestly
Texas,
felt
he was
like
born.
in that scene, if
Not
Fennec didn't
Austinite.
do that, if Fennec didn't do the gun
But
thing, he
mostly
would have been like,
hangs out
well,
in Austin.
in that case, put us down for
Yeah.
tomorrow. Oh,
Sure.
he's booked till next week.
Yeah.
In that case, we'll see you next week. Let's go,
What kind of
Fennec.
flowers does he like? I'm gonna make sure he's got flowers.
Like, come on, what the
like,
fuck are
Jesus
you doing?
Christ.
Okay, so no more episodes directed by Robert Rodriguez unless he apologizes. And he tells us his
See
direction
next
for it.
week
He's
for
like,
the
no, there's a
appointment."
plan. If you just say there's a plan, then okay, cool. But the problem
Plan A
is
is not working.
the episodes with the worst action and choreograph action is Robert Rodriguez episodes, the first one and this one. The first one, some people would say, is worse than this one. Well, guess what? Directed by Robert Rodriguez. So I think that we're finding a commonality here, and he's injecting a little too much. So Jon Favreau needs to rein that in a little bit.
Yeah.
It's already too late because all these
This is done.
episodes are already fucking done, and we have no idea where it's going to go next. But if it's going in the direction that we're worried it's going,
I'm
then
out.
this series is going to go way down. Hopefully, it can come back up and yeah.
Well,
Throw
like
his
you
ass
said,
back
it-
in the Sarlacc pit. I don't watch it.
well,
anymore.
like if you said it continues this way from here on out, I'm going to give it a 3, and you won't see me. Done.
Yeah, default 3.
Default 3.
We'll just put a cutout of OJ here with 3.
3.
I think it'll get better because you still have to have in like say a 3-act movie. He still has to go through his lowest point. He hasn't gone through his lowest.
This is his lowest point.
This is the lowest point.
Yes.
This is his lowest
Yes,
point.
very
If you
good
get any
point.
lower,
But in Robert Rodriguez and Jon Favreau's mouth, not yet. You got to strip everything from him, and then he's got to come back, and then it will focus on Boba as being.
I think
they're
this is supposed
treating
to
him
be
like,
hoping.
they're treating him like shit everywhere in the town. They killed his whole
Right,
family.
and
his
the
whole
guy's
family.
like, I don't
They-
respect
they-
you
yeah,
to
they
your
killed his
face.
I think this
family.
is his lowest point.
The state.
This is his lowest point.
I honestly think the murdering of
with
his
four. I
his
know
tribe.
it's
No, it's
supposed to
tribe.
be.
Well,
No, I think
yeah.
his
The
whole
tribe
tribe getting
died.
murdered.
With 4 episodes left, this is his lowest point.
I
This
think-
is the end of the second act.
Well, how much lower can you get?
Shit,
and his
I
whole
don't know.
family
I-
that saved him is murdered. I think that's his
Yeah.
lowest point.
Okay. Well,
I've watched. You've watched any of these like Samurai, Last
Yes,
Samurai,
yes.
Dances with Wolves? Like
You're right.
This is the lowest point of the character.
You killed my family. I'm gonna
I
go
don't know
after
how
the
there's
Pikes
4
because the
episodes
Pikes
left.
killed
okay,
them.
Good. Now it's gonna get good. All 4 of these episodes, it's fucking.
I hope so.
hope so.
It's fucking.
But I do
bounty
like the
time.
bikers' initials though.
Fucking Boba time. No, I hate those. Anyway,
No, not the cyberpunk bikers. You're talking about the desert bikers.
Yeah, JL.
It is.
I was like, man, I'm gonna sign my name like that too.
yeah,
now.
yeah. Do that from now on. All right, you murderer. I went a little too fast, and I needed to give it a rating. So my rating is a 4 out of 10.
I thought you were gonna give it a 3 because you're like, yeah, I'm kind of close to a 3.
Yeah,
Four?
well, no, I understood a 3, because I was like,
Okay.
there's no way it can be a 3. It's not that bad. And, there are elements of it that aren't bad, and there are elements of it that are really bad. But then when you factor in the idea of where they want to take it if you continue on this path and what you're doing to Boba as an actual character, then, yeah, I can understand a 3. But I think ultimately, hopefully, there is a plan. And just realize that this episode is the worst episode, in my opinion. Some people might think the first one is. No, I like the
this
first
one's
one.
worse.
This is the worst one for me,
Yeah,
4 out
same.
of 10. And it had to get really bad to even go to 4. So I'm hoping there's not a worse turd in here than this one. So
It's like, we're going to need a bigger army. Don't worry, the biker gang's going to call our friends.
Yeah.
It's going to be a whole bunch of Vespas coming up. I'm out. Flip the table.
and
Turn it
I am
off.
blaming Robert Rodriguez a lot, but let's give John Favreau a little bit.
No, yeah,
because
'cause
he
oversees-
wrote it.
he oversees
it,
wrote,
so-
not oversees it, he wrote them all 7 episodes, and co-written 6th by Dave.
Also, let's blame the costume designer
Yes.
and the props. 'Cause,
Yes,
like,
plenty of blame.
Maybe done better, that would have worked. Like those bikers that we saw that were killing. Maybe something like that.
Yeah.
That
So we
might have worked.
Yeah. So we have a few more episodes left, 4 left. So we need Bryce Dallas Howard's episode. We need Dave Filoni's episode. We need Kevin Tancherowan's episode. And then I would estimate that John Favreau himself might direct the last one. So those are possibly the last 4
That's the one
episodes.
where he fights the thumbs, right? The big thumbs.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Now we can end the episode.
Yes.
Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show.
Bye, guys. For real.